Welcome to Hollywood in 1985. A town full of big hair, big dreams, and big egos. The streets are filled with sleaze and satanic panic, and it seems there's a murderer on the loose. But MaXXXine gives zero shits, as she's got her eyes set on making it in the big time. It's the third installment of a trilogy in MaXXXine. Hello there, you loose units, and welcome back to another episode of Spicy Boy Reviews. I'm, of course, your host, Andrew Iles. That's right, MaXXXine, the third installment of Ty West's trilogy. We meet MaXXXine again after the events of X, and this time she's got more attitude than WWF in 1998. It's Hollywood in 1985, and the streets are rife with satanic panic, as it seems there's a serial killer known as the Night Stalker on the loose, which has got everyone all up in arms. But MaXXXine's having none of it! She got no time to be scared by this devil-worshipping tosser. She's working triple extra hard for the money and attempting to make it big in Hollywood. She's a woman about town, spending her days going to countless auditions, filming scenes in the adult film industry, and wrapping up her nights as a dancer thrusting around a room in one of those basement private jerk viewing booths. However, it seems her hard work has paid off as she's landed the leading role in the filming of a B-grade sequel horror film. But there's some mysterious stranger draped in leather comes to town to try and fuck it all up. He stalks MaXXXine, leaving ominous notes and VHSs full of footage from her stay at Pearl's farm Funland. Then enter a sleazy footloose private investigator who hassles MaXXXine on a daily basis, stating that he works for this leather daddy who's supposedly a very powerful man in town and is trying to blackmail MaXXXine into meeting him for reasons. But MaXXXine's having none of it! She's no damsel in distress and takes care of herself. After all, she's killed before. And this mysterious leather daddy knows it. Along the way, bodies start piling up who have been branded with a Motley Crue album cover, and the city thinks that this is the Night Stalker, but two detectives on the case are suspecting it's someone else. Turns out everyone that MaXXXine runs into, they end up deceased and branded with this symbol, as she's the last person to see them alive. The poor girl has a lot on her shoulders here. She's juggling with the weight of her first big break in mainstream movies. Bodies of acquaintances are piling up. The two detectives are hot on her case. The sleazy PI being a stage 4 Klingon. And this leather daddy stalking the shit out of her. Not only this, but MaXXXine is having flashbacks and dealing with trauma that Pearl left on her psyche. This film was ticking all of the boxes for me when I saw it advertised. It's the mid-80s in Hollywood and a supposed horror film. It's fair to say that I was very excited for this movie. The film does look magnificent, being a neon bukkake party of LA sleaze. The music is incredible, of course, as well, having banger after banger after banger of awesome tracks. And the attention to detail making you believe that it is the 80s with the set dressing, the neon grainy look, and the makeup and costume effects is perfection. See, Hollywood? It's not that fucking hard. I will say, though, that the film doesn't really tick that horror box, though. It's actually more of a neon noir thriller murder mystery. There is some eensy-weensy bit of gore in a few moments. One very wincing moment involving some crushed testes that will make third-wave femos cheer and gasm. But the horror very rarely raises its gruesome head. It's also Cameo City as well, having some more recognisable faces popping up in this final instalment. And it's always good to see Kevin Bacon pop up in any film, as he is quintessential a horror icon. And the climax of the film is a straight-up B-grade action film straight out of the 80s. Speaking of the climax, there is of course a twisty twist of who the killer actually is, and I'm sure, like me, you'll spot it coming from a quarter mile away. But where does this film sit in Ty West's trilogy? I will have to say that this is the weakest installment. It's an okay film, don't get me wrong, I had fun watching it. But I'd say Pearl is the best and most unsettling. I know, people are probably going to lose their shit with the blasphemy of putting a character study above a 70s style slasher. But Pearl has some very incredibly unnerving imagery and scenes. It is a character study of a young woman losing her mind because she's so desperate to escape and to be loved. And it really showed how incredibly brilliant Mia Goth is as an actor. And I find it even more impressive that this film was written as an afterthought from Ty West and the crew being locked down due to COVID, so he locked himself away for 2 weeks, wrote this entire film, and then we got Pearl. X, of course, I will place in a close second. I really enjoyed it. It's very fun, and it has that fun slasher factor to it. And then, of course, in third, as aforementioned, is this installment, MaXXXine. The best part about this film, though, is, without doubt, the atmosphere. The feels, the looks, the sound, it's all incredible. But the story didn't really completely captivate me, though. It's a great film to look at and experience, and it's definitely worth the watch. However, if I'm honest, I will say I was a little let down with the final product. I was very hyped for this film, not gonna lie. But the story was a little weak sauce for me. And there was a little bit too much going on all at once. And the over-the-top reveal or plan of the killer was a little bit meh for me. Anyway, I am excited to see what Ty West and Mia Goth do next. Anyway, guys, this is my cheeky little review of MaXXXine. Definitely worth a watch, but definitely the weakest of the trilogy. However, write down below if you've seen it, what are your thoughts on it, but more importantly, what is your favourite installment in this trilogy? And of course, if you made it this far into the episode, please give me a thumbs up because your love and support keeps me going, because I just love movies, and I assume you do as well. And of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe icon because I give it an episode weekly, and I'll see you back here next week for the next review, but until then, stay spooky, kids.